All good.
So right now we are live. Let's go to this video, Mac REEM. Here we go. And you guys, you can talk over the,
Let me speak these words. Yeah. Tell them what is going on. As I look to the sky, and I'm asking for the energy and help. Yeah. From our Father, while I'm here on Mother Earth. Yeah, God's green. Oh man. Speak I was raised in a home. Religion wasn't nothing but thoughts. Okay. I was raised as a Muslim and Christian, but is that my fault? Come on. I was looking for knowledge in a place that I couldn't find truth.
We're gonna get into the interview right after the video.
The only time I'm alive is in this booth.
Appreciate it. That right there. In this video, I tried to get the elements of the earth too. I got the water, the blue shirt for the water, the fire in the other shirt, and then the other shirt I got like the trees and the land. So I was trying to intertwine all in it. So that's
impeccable. Y'all stay for this whole thing, y'all. We know it's something different, but definitely stay. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, this right here though, like I said, this was this song. This was something that was on my mind that I wanted to get off. I just, want to tell my truths. A lot of these people that's in the video, I forgot what skateboarding group they're in, but they're in a nice. They do a lot of things in the Bay Area with the youth and through skating and skateboarding. So I try to intertwine that with a lot of my stuff too. I just like to network with people. That park right there, the Farmery Park, that park is the park of home of the Black Panthers. Actually, it's called Little Bobby Hutton Park right now. They changed the name, but that's where the Panthers used to have meetings and feed people in my community and stuff. So that park is a historical park in Oakland.
Alright.
That was dope. That was dope. That was the artist Mac REEM right here, our first guest ever on Urban AZ on the Verge, and we're representing the right way on the West Coast up to the Bay. Mac REEM's in here right now. That was called Speak, and all you can do, you can Google that, but as of right now, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat, guys, so you get that video and go straight to the actual video, and from there you show some love, make sure you tell them where you came from, Urban AZ represented together. And yeah, we're going to go from there. So first off,
real quick, let me shout out some people in the house. We got the official Dirty Don.
Yep. Dirty Don's in the house.
Sunshine in the house.
Sunshine.
Paul Martinez, Mags.
Oh, Mags. Paul Martinez is a Warriors fan too. So
that's what's up. Throw your dubs up.
Yeah,
got some other people in the house. They being quiet. They just sitting back. So I don't know who else is in here, but we got definitely more people. We got Lower R. We definitely got more people than I mentioned. But go ahead, Dub. Let's get into it.
All good, all good. Much love to the chat. Much love D-Ware. Much love Mac REEM. It's our first artist, as in the guest for Urban AZ on the Verge. And I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out to come out and just talk to us, have some fun.
Man, appreciate y'all having me, man. Shout out to my cousin Sarah too for putting this together, man, and connecting me with you guys first and foremost. I just want to say, man, thank you guys for having me. As far as me, my name is Mac REEM. I'm an artist out of the Bay Area. I've been in this industry not long, but long enough to understand the industry and see how it operate. I'm in a group called the West Coast Office. My boy Big Twan, and then I'm in another group we call Starting Five, which is me, my boy Dirty Don, Big Twan, and Marvelous, who's out of Sacramento, who has charted on the Billboard Top 40 before. She worked with Tupac before, as well as Sibo, one of the top artists out the West Coast. And I'm just and her as well as her daughter. So I'm just pretty much blessed to be in the position I am and have the help that I had along the way.
That sounds amazing, man. You have a very strong foundation from the early 2000s starting out, and especially having the mentorship or the mentorship or just the connections with different people all over that area. So I'm sure that's very noteworthy and very useful for you coming up in the game as well.
Yeah, like I said, in 20, I think I kind of got the real way of how the game operated and the industry operated when I started working with Ernie Singleton, and that was like 2012 through like 2014. He showed me the ropes and was like I said, man, a great mentor as well as a great person, man. And I'm very honored to have had him in my life to show me the ropes. He didn't have to. He's accredited for over 300 platinums, and he didn't work with everybody in this industry. So, he took a chance with me, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I also looked up him up as well, and he's also was an executive producer or a co-host from the 94.1. Is that KPFA?
Yeah, I was on that too. 94.1 KPFA is a radio station out in Berkeley. Was radio host with my man DJ Chill, and he's one of the upcoming DJs in the Bay Area. And like I said, that's his family there, and I just like being part of the music, just being in whatever's a part of music. I just love being a part of that. Music to me is therapy. Some people use it to make money, but I've been in this game so long to where money comes. If it comes, it comes. If it don't, it don't. It's like I do it because I love it. I'm in this game. I fell in love with hip hop, I say, in like '89, listening to KRS-One or something like that. My favorite song was "Love's Gonna Get You." I think I was in the 7th grade at that time. I didn't have a B+ grade. At the end of the day, I still hit the arcade, So,
there you go. Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, seeing some of your artists, your influences, KRS-One, Pac, Tupac, Run DMC, E40, Too Short.
Yeah.
Tell me about those artists. What do you like about them, or how do they inspire you?
Well, they're different in different variations of their music. They inspire me. 40, how he flipped twist songs. He got his own speech. Short to break it down how you talk, how you get at a woman, or how you approach him, and that's Bay Area stuff. As well as Big Twan. He's the reason. My boy Big Twan is the reason, and my other boy from South Philly. Shout out to North Philly, South Philly fam out there too. My boy Big Tuna, Sheldon Peterson. Okay. Him and Big Twan. Those were the two guys who actually helped me learn how to formulate a rhyme, or how to make it make sense, or put messages in my song is just instead of just rhyming. So they kind of changed my perspective of music and how I approach music. And then later on, now in 2020, I've been working with Marvelous for the last 2 years, and Sus is so dope on a whole different level. I'm just upset she don't get the credit that she deserves as being the only real, not say gangster rap, but she grew up under Sibo, come under Sibo wing, and Sus, she had to be, a hard. You had to be hard to be around him. So yeah,
Sibo was hard.
Man,
wrong with them? Nah,
that's instant gas. You put Sibo on something, that's instant gas. I don't care where you that's Instacart. That's Instacart, man. That's gas. That's gas. So shout out to the West Coast Mafia and the whole camp over there too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know about Sibo, old school, well, still relevant to this day, artist
Yeah.
C-BO out of Sacramento, California, and just crazy hardcore
Yes.
lyrics, gangsta,
Yeah.
lyricist, overall musical. Yeah, great person as well. That's dope. That's
See,
dope.
before all this, you know, he was one of the first artists to ever maybe have to serve time because of lyrics or whatever because of that. So a lot of you youngsters, go back and do your history on really, if you're from the West Coast and you don't know these names or know the history of these names, then you need to, you know, dig deep and get into studying these artists and who laid the blueprint for us to be able to rap today and do the things that we do today as far as West Coast.
That's true. That's very much true. People who built that foundation, and from there we build upon that. You know, our different rooms or different avenues, and yeah, we have to give homage to those that really put or paved the way for us to get into this industry. And speaking of all these, you know, old school artists, you know, the foundational artists, inspirational. But in your own life, was there any musical, you know, inspiration from your family or maybe some relatives? How'd you really get into music in general?
I mean, I have family that's into music. Actually, I have a song with me and my cousin David Ruffin Jr. We have actually a couple of songs together, so we're in the process of putting something out with that. But yeah, like I said, I've been in this. I have family in this industry.
Mac, I gotta stop you. You said David Ruffin Jr. Is that
correct?
Who I'm thinking about? David Ruffin?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
I
sir.
just had to stop in and ask you that.
Yes, sir. I don't too much say it, but like I don't too much say it and keep that because I want to make my, you know, my own too. So but
no,
yeah,
all right.
What's up?
You can go look at it. You know, he kind of look like me because I'm handsome. But no, for real though, we got some stuff in the works too, on the quiet, on the humble, just working on some stuff, you know, behind the scene and just getting it together. I also work with the one of the best lyricists in the game as far as Corrupt. He, you know, the homie Corrupt. He's from the Dog Pound. You are the legendary Dog Pound, and he's a monster on the mic too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a little stuff. I got a little heat up under me. I just ain't exposing everything yet, but I'm also work with. I'm on Tubi right now. I have a TV series called Evolve, which was directed. It was directed by Hooker Boy Films. He have a couple of films. Big Trouble in Little Oakland. That's on Tubi too as well. They have a couple of things. He based out of Oakland, and I have his TV series. Me and him, we're on 10 episodes, and as well as I have a small role in a movie shot by Pharaoh Films. And that one is called Vampire in the Hood or Vampire in Oakland. It's still in production, as well as Love and Aliens is in production.
Okay.
So I got a little bit of that up under my belt too. Oh yeah, I can't forget this. Shout out to my man Steve Stewart. I have a movie, me and him together, and that is finishing up, and that is finished up, and it's called Probation Period. You guys got to check that out. I play the main character in that, so I'm trying to get my Denzel Washington on, you know. So
there you go, there you go. You got started somehow, man. That's what's up.
Yeah. So that's about it.
That's what's up. Thanks for giving that overall, you know, generalization and a little bit in depth of just the, you know, the surface of Mac Reem.
Right.
You know, we can also bring it back too, because I heard that you're from, is it West Oakland, California?
Yeah, West Oakland. Yeah, West. See, I'm glad you said that. Okay, this is what it is. Oakland itself has you know, it's three parts of Oakland: West, East, and North. And each one has its own entity of artists. But when people say Oakland artists, they never give the North or the West its credit. You know, it's always East, and East is the biggest part of Oakland.
Okay.
And growing up, they did have a foundation of being the strongest part where most artists came from.
Okay.
So when people say Oakland, 9 times out of 10, they go straight to East Oakland instead of just West Oakland. But we have artists like East West Oakland. They have right now J Style and
Style,
Louis
yep,
Bo, Rara, Shady
yep,
Nate,
yep.
Lil Blood. So it's
Okay,
a lot of it's a lot of artists that's established right now in West Oakland as well as North Oakland guy, Mr. Fab. He's one of the biggest
yep,
out of
yep.
North Oakland. And then it's an artist that I would like for y'all to tune into. His name is Do Damage.
Do
His
damage.
artist Do Damage.
Okay.
DUDAMAGE. Do Damage. This artist has been putting in a lot of work and he's from North Oakland. He's put in a lot of work over the. He produces too. He actually produced a couple of songs on my album.
Okay.
But he's an artist that's been making a lot of noise, but on the quiet, on the humble. You know, like he said, he taught me a little bit about how to make money on a behind the scene. You don't have to be an artist with a million streams or to do these things to get airplay or to be heard and seen. It's avenues and ways and dues that you have to pay. You just can't. A lot of artists now get in the game and with a quick hit, but but don't understand that it takes time. It takes time to be in this industry. If you're looking for longevity, now, if you're looking for a quick lick in this game, come up with something come up with a catchy hook,
Right.
and do something crazy to go viral, and you got like that if that's what you're looking for. But for the artists who been in this game, who understand that, like I said myself, music is therapy, so I can never not do music. I don't care how old I am. I'm gonna still love hip hop, be a part of it, be a part of music. Music doesn't have an age limit, and I'm tired of the crowd or society saying that just because you a certain age you can't do this type of music. Like,
Right.
I never heard nobody say you just because you 80 years old you can't sing or whatever. Like, we got to get out of that. We got to get out of that as that stereotype that you have to be a certain age to be a hip hop artist, or because music is music, man. It don't have no age limit on it. All it has is feeling, and hopefully you touch the right feelings and do the right things to it.
I agree. I definitely agree. And sometimes in the hip hop community, like you were saying, we're kind of knocked if we're 35 or 40, but in other genres like in rock, or let's just say in that, for an example, sometimes there could be the top notch and still think that everyone thinks they're on top of the game, and they're not washed out. And so sometimes our people, well, the people in the community of hip hop or rap in general, just kind of like knock each other down. But we do, I think it's very it's a very kind of touchy subject, just because some people think that you might be too old. But all in all, if we can really pretty much work together and kind of get that out of our mind and just build on something that we already started way back when, and give our, like we're saying earlier, that foundation from there, and helping each other up so we can build a bigger platform, a bigger house per se, for example. Be good there. But no, I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate the insight there.
Hey, read up, guys, real quick. I want to bring in Madlocks. He's my guy from the radio. He's been in radio for, I don't know, I'll let him tell you, for the longest, but I'm going to bring him in. He's not with radio anymore, so now he can keep it real with all the questions anyone has. I got some questions.
Yeah.
First of all, but anyway, that's Madlocks, my dude. We've been knowing each other, Madlocks. It's been a minute.
Like 20 years. 20 years for sure.
So I want to go back, and Madlocks, you could jump in on yourself whenever you feel free. So Redub, you were talking about how I want to word this right. Let me just ask Mac a question and it'll come out. Okay. So Mac.
Yes, sir.
What do you consider yourself like? Your type of rap, do you consider it, I'm trying to say this right, do you consider it like 2000, like back in the 90s, 2000, or
I joke. We joke in house about this, because me and Big Twan, we talk about it a lot. It's like now, I just feel like we like how in 1986 how the dope game was, how how the dope game was, and they just felt I feel like somebody buried us in the dirt, and then they just dug us up back in 2020. You know, in 2020, it's like a great feeling that you had back then that was missed and lost, and now it's coming back due to the way the music is now. Music is so open, so I would consider myself a old head as far as bars as what I presented, but I have some new things since I have tapped in with the young life, and they, a lot of things have changed as far as lingo and how they write, how the lyrics are written and delivered now. So a lot of stuff is how it's written now. So I would consider myself old head, but I do like what the new artists are doing now, because I appreciate the work as from any artist. I'm an artist, so I love artists. I love the artistry of music. So
I'm gonna get my questions out the way while we got Matt in here. I'm just gonna shoot them real. You can answer them, or you could, you know what I mean. So are you trying to get on radio, or have you been on radio before? Have your stuff been played on radio? And would you like to be on radio?
Of course, I would love to be on radio. Have I had my stuff played on radio? For sure. I had a song with Corrupt called "Quit Lying in Your Rap" that was played on Camille. It got one of the best. It got one of the best response that up there that they had. They thought because it was a voting system, they thought I had some type of way of cheating because the votes and the people were voting. It's just it was a good song, So, but I didn't understand. Like I said at the time, I understood that I could make good songs. I had mastered the way to make songs and create good songs, but I didn't know nothing about promotion and the behind the scene things that I do now, So I think I was a little bit more hungrier then, but now I'm a little bit more focused now on what it is that needs to be done.
So what do you do? What is your plan, or how do you get on radio in your mind? Like, what do you need to do to be on the radio? Because me personally, I don't think it's really about the music. I think it's about.
I was about to say that you just put together. Right. It depends on how great your pocketbooks are.
With that, go ahead. Yeah. But let me hear Mac. What do you think you need to do to be able to get on pop radio or whatever everything seems to be pop nowadays.
If you want to touch, if you really want to put something on the radio and have a nice push to get it around, you got to spend no less than $100,000. No, I mean, and that's just the bare minimum for a underground artist, like an artist like myself. If you don't have $100,000 to push that song, to get it heard, to put it in these places, to be presented to the people who needs to hear them, then you're not gonna get no sponsorship. So, like I said, I didn't understand that part of the game earlier because I knew I had the right thing for music, and I knew I was saying all the right things, but it wasn't touching the ears or the places where I wanted it to touch to get over that hump. So I would say if you really got a nice song, then wait a minute, hold before you do anything. First of all, if you're not registered with ASCAP, BMI, and those things, hurry up and do that first before you even put out a song. Before you even put out that song that you think is the #1 song, go get your paperwork done first. That's period, point blank. If you ain't got your paperwork done, ain't no need to talk. So that's the first.
Let me get real specific now. You say $100,000, Matt. Does that $100,000 go in your pocket? Where does that go, Matt?
So on the radio side, you have indie promoters. Indie promoters have been in the game for a while. There's a lot of good cats with really good connections to all the DJs across the country. Your minimum budget for them is going to be $25,000. That's just to get things moving in mix show. That's not your normal primetime radio slots. That's just taking advantage of the DJs across the country that have they got their ear to go, yo, can you slide this in your mix show? Can you try this record out? And them saying, yeah. So minimum budget for that is $25,000. But to even to crack your show outside of mix show, yeah, you're looking at another $50,000 to $75,000 to even to try and move it outside of mix show. And that's what major record labels do. People just think that, the big three, give radio records and radio plays them. For the established artists, yeah, but for new artists, they pay just like everybody else, and money rules. So 100K is a really, really good baseline for a budget to try and work your song in radio.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Matt. So the middle guy, of course,
yeah,
he takes his, let's say it's 100K, he takes his cut or whatever. But I do know, I forget which PD told me this, but so for instance, instead of him giving the money to the radio station, or maybe some of it goes to somebody, but what I understood was, like, if the radio station needed promo vans or just stuff, that money would go towards that. Basically, it's kind of just a different way of payola instead of putting cash in your hand.
Yeah, because you can't trace it. If Interscope pays a radio station 30 grand, and all of a sudden we have new flavor unit gear with the Interscope logo on it, that is not necessarily payola, even though the favor of within disguised in our new flavor unit, our new promotional gear is by Interscope. The favor is, they're doing that because we're playing records for them that need to get run. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you if this is a trick I did to help somebody out, but I think if your songs played for more than, is it 2 minutes or a minute, it gets a minute and a half. If it's encoded, you have to get it.
You talked about ASCAP, BMI, CSCAP, or CSAC. You need to get your songs encoded. You need to have the codec encoded, which is free, by the way. You can encode your song. If you don't encode your song, you're not going to get credit for your records being spun, because SoundScan is not going to, BDS is not going to detect your records. So another caveat to that is, yes, you got to get your paper right and get your PROs in place. If you're a producer, you can get all three. If you're an artist, you're signing to one. But you have to encode your music. You have to encode your music so when it plays, BDS can detect. And you can end up on the media-based chart. So you can say, hey, I'm a media-based charting artist, which is free, by the way. Nobody knows that.
So I don't know if you remember Kennelly. You remember Mike Kennelly and Mark Waters and them, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what I did was they let me buy a minute, 90-second commercials. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember it. I remember it vividly because they would play a lot during my show, and I'd be like, man, this is such a get over. Like, this is like a minute and a half commercial.
Right. So he ended up getting credit. The guy I was doing it for ended up getting spins. He could show, hey, I'm getting spins on this station, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Is that still the case, where if it's not that somebody's selling you 90-second commercials, but is it still a minute 30 rule?
The way the clocks are now, they're so spread out. You may have, in our days, especially at Power, we stopped down 2 times an hour. So it's usually at the 15 and at the 45. Nowadays, you have maybe 3 to 5 stop sets an hour with shorter commercial breaks. So instead of having 1 5-minute block, you'll have 4 or 5 3-minute blocks of commercials to get you back into the music. So it would be interesting to see. Of course, money talks. So if you're coming in saying you're gonna pay for a 90-second commercial, they're going to listen to you. But in this day and age, it'd be few and far between, and it would stick out more. It would stick out more like a red thumb than anything. It would stick out so bad now because stop sets are so short.
Right. So one other question, I'll let y'all have at it. So what do you think if an artist had to have one thing and you can only have one? He's got the money. Let's say he's got a $500,000 budget. Music is horse shit. Or just great fucking music, like great music, no budget.
Who, me? I'm taking the great music and no budget.
What you gonna take? You already.
I'm taking
Matt.
I'm taking. For me, if you have the talent, That's great. You already steps ahead. If I have to teach you talent, if I have to teach you how to do this, it's already too late. I'm taking the talent with no budget, because eventually, especially the way that we have the industry is, you can create your own fandom, you can create your own universe just by being consistent. So if you have talent and no budget, you could put out a song every week, a song every 2 weeks, a song every month that hits, and within a year you will have fans. You will have fans that will be checking for you. You will have fans that are growing organically, which you want, and you can build on having the talent and no money. You can't build on having a $500,000 budget and horseshit talent. It's not.
Well, let's just say it ain't horseshit, and let's say we trying to get right in. You know, it ain't time to build. You got a person that's, let's say he's average. You know what I mean? Yeah, cool, but ain't making no noise. You know what I mean? But he got the money. He got the money to do whatever, you know, to take care of everybody, basically.
I mean,
is that gonna make it in faster than somebody with great talent?
I know.
And will he last? Will he have long? Will he last?
I know many stories, and I'm sure everybody in this room knows many stories of people who had financial backing, had plenty of financial backing, and they thought that they were the smoke. They thought that they were the shit. Yep. And even with that financial backing, fell flat on their face.
Yep.
Within a year.
Yep.
Within a year. It's just talent.
So give me one thing that you would advise an artist. I hate saying local, just a artist that's unknown or just, and they're good. Like their music is good, very good. Don't have $100,000, maybe, you know, a few bucks. What would the main thing you would tell them? The one thing that you think is the most important thing for them to keep on doing their thing and, you know, to be able to make it in the industry?
Man, I give you like there's a cat here in Phoenix.
Even if it's two things you got to do, because I know it's one thing, but I want the important.
Yeah. No, there's a cat here in Phoenix. His name is Emmett Dupree, and Emmett's dope, and he's done it all by himself, organically. And he has the talent. He's got his song played on Ebro. He's getting 200,000 streams of his song on Spotify. He's turned down 2 or 3 offers from major labels now because he wants to do it on his own. And it's just being consistent. He puts out songs consistently. He's grown his fan base through consistency. You are now in a space where the gatekeepers of the industry and they're not checking for me, or they're not looking out for me. That is all gone now with technology. You have every opportunity to, when we get off of this Zoom, to go to your workstation, go to your laptop, go to your homie's house and create a song, put it on SoundCloud, put it on DistroKid, put it everywhere. You have opportunity to create something and put it out to your world, and you have the means through social media to promote the shit and boost posts. Most artists that I know don't even know that they could get a business account that would tell them the times that are great for posting, right? Yep. That have analytics on the back end that can tell you your demo. You know what I'm saying? Most artists don't even know Spotify for artists. You could check out your analytics. You can see where people are streaming your music from. You could route tours just off of Spotify streaming. You know, these are the things that, you know, with the information age that we have, people are finding out, and the DIY artist is flourishing off of it. You look at Brent Faiyaz, you look at artists like Chance the Rapper, you look at artists like that have taken the indie route while taking deals because they're growing in celebrity and growing in fandom, but it's through consistency. I push Russ all the time. Russ is great. Russ did it through consistency. And he did it through consistency into a deal, and now out of a deal, and he's back independent again.
Right.
So you can do it. It's just if you're lazy and if you're not in this for the long haul, then you're not you're only going to get what you put in at this point.
I got one more question for Mac, and then I'm gonna let y'all have at it. If y'all got questions for Matt, he'll stick around for a minute. Y'all can ask him. But Mac, if you had a chance to do a song with, or have them on your song, Migos, would you do it?
With the Migos? Yeah, I'll do a song with the Migos. I don't have me. I don't care who I do a song. If the Migos want to do a song with me, then of course I'll work with anybody who's willing to work with me. I have never turned down an opportunity to do music. I mean, so whoever want to work with me, I'm willing to work with them. You know, so I would love to do a song with the Migos.
It's not really your style of music. Well, for now, I'm listening to. Maybe you got some others. It's not. You know, I look at you more on, you know, West Coast, Oakland, like Corrupt type, you know, that style.
Yeah.
Like, you know, 2000, like I like that. My son probably wouldn't listen to you. You know what I mean? Young.
Right.
So you don't feel like that would causing you to sell out or water down your music or anything like that? I'm asking because I'm an old head, so stop shaking your head, Matt. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No, not necessarily, because it's what when you have an older artist and a younger artist, what I realized the best thing for them to do is not try to match each other's style, but just to be them. If you get a fan base what they know that you are, like you said, consistency. If you know my style, you're gonna know what to expect on this song with me and Migos. You know they're gonna do the Migos, and I'm gonna do my Mac Ring, lay back and tell you what it is, and hopefully in the midst of that we can create something that's good. And if not, we scratch that one and go to the next song. But you can always find something with an artist to where you can gel. I never worked with an artist that I couldn't make something, make something. So it's just the way it is. If you true into music and you true to yourself, no matter who, you can put me on a song with Ice JJ Fish. We're gonna come up with something. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the confidence I feel in music that's just me. We're gonna come up with something. If you want me to be on a song with you, we're gonna come up with something, So
Matt,
I don't
Locks.
Yeah. I mean, it's Migos. The look, I mean, to get to that point, to get there on their radar, that means they're checking for you. So the look is, you have to take that. And then you get in the studio with them and you get game. You get game from them while you're doing that record. And who knows what comes out of that relationship after the music. But
right.
Or even on a independent level, let's say you have enough money, you scraped up enough money and you hit Quavo on the DM and he responded to you and you're able to get a 16 from him for $25K and you have $25K and he's willing to do it and he's not bullshitting you and he's feeling what you're doing. You got to take that opportunity. I mean, you can reach out to artists now. You can, like I said, like you can do this, really do this. Like there's a way to, not annoy the shit out of your favorite artist too. But you can approach your artist via DMs and ask them about business things or find out who to talk to ask and see how much is it for a 16? How much is it for a verse from this artist? What I found out is that some of the artists that you think are out of reach financially are not as out of reach as you think.
Well, let me use another. Let me go with another. Let's just say some popcorn.
I think Mac.
We lost him.
No, I think we lost him for a second. So
just to hop back in.
If you can hear Mac, I'm gonna text you right now. Get back in the link, but I got you.
All right. Let me go here with it. Let's just say it's just some popcorn pop artists. I can't think of one right now. Maybe you can, or Rita can think of just somebody that you get with and everybody's automatically calling you just selling out to go pop. You know what I mean? I can't even say Justin Bieber. I'm trying to think of someone that's just you really sold your soul on this one. You know what I mean?
It's funny though. Like you don't really hear much of that anymore,
right?
Because everybody wants to collaborate with everybody. Like
True. You're right.
You have more collaboration. There's more collaborative art.
You're
I
right.
mean, which music has always been. Like all these people that hate that Beyonce doesn't write all of her music or Drake doesn't write all of his songs. Come on now. All of your favorite artists do not write all of their songs. Exactly. All of them have had help at some point in time from somebody else who has written a song, assisted in writing a song for them, or they've sat back and they've just fielded songs from extremely talented songwriters and are going to use them. But this is the nature of the game. It's the business of the beast. Sometimes there are talented songwriters that can create or make you think or make you feel or have written what you feel you couldn't, that you take that song and you go, all right, that's what I want to say. So you saying it for me. I'm going to credit you. I'm going to put you on. Mm-hmm. And then song does 3, 5, 7, 10 million at the gate. You now have a 10 million, you have a diamond, hit. Mm-hmm. And you've helped somebody else who's probably been a struggling songwriter put their name in the book and start getting work. You see what I'm saying? So like,
sure.
This collaborative, the hating of collaborative arts, especially in hip hop, like, come on, man. Like music is a collaborative art. Yeah. There's not very many people, in the game right now that can hold themselves up by themselves and wholly create. It's usually some collaboration going on.
Right.
The whole Nas X and what's the country artist? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you got to have. I mean, but that was a good look.
Like 10 years ago, that would have been like, yo, dude selling out. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or long ago.
But that was a good look, and that was more of a risk for Billy Ray Cyrus than it was Lil Nas X.
Oh, for sure.
Because at that point in time, country was really not checking for that Old Town Road song. And they had to check for it because Billy Ray Cyrus put his name on it.
Put that stamp on there. Yeah, definitely.
He put that stamp on it. And so country radio had to go, we've got to play this song now. Right? So sometimes it works to your advantage. Sometimes it can work against. But in this day and age, like everybody just wants to work and create some songs. I haven't really came across something that made me go, oh yeah, you're selling out. That's a complete sellout.
Yeah.
Mac, I put the link in the stream. You see it.
I hit him up too in the text. And just like what you were saying, Matt, how, the artists like to collab, and way back when, everyone came together and did like songwriting. There was like 5, 6 people on one room. And also some of your favorite artists, even like Babyface, wrote a lot of hits for other people that you think that, they wrote it, but he was a masterpiece of it. Even like
you look at Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson did not write most of his material until Thriller.
Right.
Rod Temperton did a lot of the writing, most of those hits, especially on the first album. Rod Temperton, look him up.
Rod Temperton?
Yeah. So you have to acknowledge that there's sometimes going to be people that are going to be more. I will take the more talented people in my room versus thinking that I'm the most talented person in the room. Because those people that are more talented than me, they're going to come up with some fire.
Right.
And you see what I did for Mike's career. He came out with some fire. He put Quincy Jones, he put everybody together. That was a community of collaboration to get Mike solo.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like relating to the like that quote, or if you're the smartest person in the room, you may want to get in a different room, type of deal. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in hip hop, we have sometimes the we have to keep it real, so it's gotta be from me mentality. Like, sometimes it could be written. Sometimes it could be written from somebody else. Yeah. You can sell it like you're you.
Yep.
And that's okay too. Because if the song's fire at the end of the day, who says you could write it better?
Exactly.
Hey Sarah, why don't you call Mac, see what's going on? This is his thing. It's kind of,
Yeah, I texted.
Yeah, he said he was in the chat. So Matt, the reason I asked you that question, I remember Tyrese, straight R&B singer, right?
Yeah.
He tried to do like a EDM song, some shit. I seen him perform at some club, and I was like, "What the fuck is he doing?" Like, it didn't get. I don't think. I don't know the numbers or anything, but I don't think it got accepted by the EDM side, pop side, or obviously not the R&B side. So, but now you're saying if he wanted to cross over, it would probably be more accepted.
Yeah, I think you know, the song has to not suck. First of all, like you could try it. I'll never fault. You know, I think like you know, Drake is getting killed right now because he basically has done a house record. He's done house records. Like, I look at it as,
how's his numbers though? Is he getting killed just by social media, or is his numbers?
He's getting killed by us. He's getting killed by the fans.
Right.
I don't.
People still buying this shit, or you know, checking.
He still was number one. His album was number one. It didn't affect the sales.
Right.
But you have to go like, listen, the man has always been, the knock on Drake was like, oh, it's KFC. You know what you're getting every Drake album, right? So this album does not sound like other Drake albums. And now motherfuckers are mad that it sounds something different. Like, oh no, you can't have it both ways. But I see what he did. The brilliance of it is like, I now have a new deal. I'm rich. I can do whatever I want. I can try new things and new sounds. And I'm at a point now where my fandom is going to listen to it. And the haters are just going to increase, and they are going to listen anyway. So as much as they want to talk about Drake and the different sound, I mean, you got Black Coffee Architect in his album. Like, come on, man. Like that's house. That's South African house. It's going to sound tropical. It's going to sound like you should be on Mykonos listening to that album, right? And I think that the hate was kind of so unwarranted. It's just funny to me. Like, you want your artist to always just, you know, bar out for 72 verses. It's not going to happen. Even Jay was not going to stay the same. He's going to evolve. You know, everybody's going to evolve in this music game. And everybody's going to be willing to try new sounds and new things. Is it always going to work? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't fault artists for trying at this point.
Mac is back.
Mac is back. Mac
Oh
Reem.
man, I'm sorry, y'all. I was having technical difficulties, but I'm back.
All good, man.
I was about to say this is hip hop for you. So
oh man, cut that out. I didn't drop the mic.
Like,
I didn't drop the mic and walk off the stage, man.
Hey, I'm gonna shoot this in here real quick. It's a y'all.
And I'm giving out them a tumble feet.
I'm just giving
west to the dirty south. Protect my energy like I'm a Secret Service member. Waving niggas off and I'm giving out them a tumble finger. Fuck feelings, homie, yeah, I think we passed that. Invested too much in life and we can't get that cash back. Hard to keep it G when niggas steal your last stack. My frequency is humble, my team forever last stack. It's hard to keep it G when niggas steal your last stack. My frequency is humble, my team forever last stack.
No clout chasing, we money making, we surpass that shit. Just give me a
all right.
Yeah.
Keep up with that one. Keep up with that one.
They say keep up with that one. Hey, Sis was finna come hard right behind me, man. Like,
yeah, she ain't in here though. I just wanted to get your verse.
I got you. That right there. That one is from the starting five right there. That one's called Cloud Chasing. Me, Marvelous, Big Twan, Dirty Don from South Carolina, and Lil Marvelous. That was just the way we came together is funny because we really didn't plan on becoming a group. You know, each one of us is all solo artists. And we really didn't, besides me and Twan, we had the West Coast offense going. But everybody else, we was, like I said, all solo artists. And we just came together in the studio one day, just a vibe, got together. I think Marvelous and Twan was doing a song, and we was knocking out other songs. And Marv, she was like, hey, y'all, I rap too. You know, like, I'm just not here to just do one song. I rap too. So it kind of put everything together. And I've been happy ever since. Like I said, I've been blessed ever since to have her in my corner to kind of like help me with the ropes and keep me updated with a lot of the things that's going on now, you know, like as far as how streams and everything else work, you know, and how we switched over from analog to digital, you know, a lot of that, a lot of things have changed from what it used to be. Artists used to have to really pay dues. You really didn't. It was really word of mouth if you was good. It wasn't no, I just get on the internet and I do something and you like it. It was really you had to go to these hoods and go to these places and really rap against these artists that the people thought was good. And wasn't nothing wrong with that because I enjoyed. That's what made me fall in love with music and hip hop and everything.
And to segue into that, how do you think of how do you progress since your first release, so that first album, successful failure, to today? So back in 2013, right?
Right.
Release, and then till today, how do you think you kind of evolved or grew into your artistry today?
Like I said, I think I was back then. I wanted to, in that era, I wanted to go against all the artists. I was hungrier. Not saying that I lost the hunger. It's just I understand the business more so a little bit better now. So it's just back then, like I said, eyes lit up. You see the nice videos, the jewelry and all that. And like, hey, I know I could do this. And I'm spitting the hardest and I'm studying these artists around me. And I'm, you know, and it was just different than what it is now. So I would say back then I was a little bit more hungry and naive than more so now to have the knowledge that I have to say, you can I don't have to be so much upfront to get things done, but I know it's things that has to be done for me to reach the next level. So I'm just not going into it just blind anymore. So
hey, read up real quick. We at that hour, but what we gonna? I want to play this part. I want to get my last question in. I'm gonna let y'all have the last 30 minutes, like we say with read up. If you want to go longer, go longer. But I feel like I'm hijacking your interview, and I don't want to do that. But I do have a lot of questions, but I'm gonna save a lot for the next one. I'm gonna play this real quick, and then I got one question for you guys, all of you guys actually, and then I'm gonna let y'all have it for the next 30. Because I'll just keep hijacking your show, Rita.
Watch me gas that shit. That's what I do. So all the extra don't mean money making. We surpass that.
Humble my team forever last.
No clout chasing. We money making. We surpass that shit. Just give me a dope beat and watch me gas that shit. That's what I do. So all the extra don't mean shit to a queen. Switch my focus, being living my dreams. I see the real. I ask for clarity. I seen it. All that fake love, I don't need it. Raise the bar, they still can't reach it. Y'all play the game, I teach it. So holla when you see me, I'm just moving my routes. Most these niggas only in it for clout. I ain't with it, no doubt.
I see you niggas on the dick, huh? You live
I want to stake on her real quick. So I like her flow, like really like her flow. Now maybe that don't mean shit because I'm old school, but I like her flow. But will she be able to make it as an artist if she don't sexy it up? And why is that the case nowadays? Because all artists, you know, they gotta do some Lil Kim shit, or they gotta get the fake booties, fake tits. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If the Marvelous, she don't have to that's Marvelous. That's the queen of sack. Like she don't have to do like that. She's pretty comfortable in what she's doing right now. Trust me, she's pretty.
Mac, I'm not saying she has to. Like in this industry, just see where I'm getting at.
If she was a new artist coming into the game,
rap, I could name 5 female artists that's probably on Billboard, something that she could probably out rap. But because of how they present themselves, you know what I mean?
Right. I got what you're saying. No, okay. I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying, D. It's a difference. She's not if she was a new artist coming in the game, then I guess she would have to either be a little bit more sexier, present more sexism, or she would get around artists and who establish lyricists and get on tracks with them, and then you can hear how she's compared to those artists, and then that'll help her grow a fan base then without having to go the sex, the sex route or the show me your titty to get on and that type of, what I'm saying, that type of shit. Because a lot of artists, like I said, a lot of these female artists, they own because they look good, got nice bodies, can halfway read, but I'm just being 100 with you. Like, man, I look at some of the interviews of some of the young lives, and it's like they need guidance. They need somebody to tell them. They need a Marvelous to be in their ear to show them it's all right to be sexy, but they need someone in their ear too. You know what I'm saying? To kind of guide them, who can be a bumper for them, a soft landing, because who's been in this industry. So it's a give or take. It's a give or take, even with artists who play the sex game to get in, give up a little bit and still don't get in. I know a few artists in the hood that's very good that played these games and they still in the same spot that they was in. So it's very dangerous when you do that, so it always say this: let your talent or let your experience guide what you doing in this music. Let your talent, let your experience, because we all got testimonies. And we all, like I said, it's nothing different that anybody's doing in music. It's nothing different. It's just you have to get the people to buy into you. They're not buying too much into my music. They want to buy into me. So you have to do these things to be liked by the fan, a fan favorite. But don't sell your soul. I'm not gonna sell my soul or go over the deep end to prove a point, because that's not me. I know some artists that's overboard that don't mind doing that just for fame, but that's not us. That's not us. And I think that's what separate us from everybody else. That's what I think we bring to the table that's different.
Comment real quick. So she says Missy and Brat did it. I don't think Missy and Brat could do that nowadays. I don't think that would happen nowadays. No, like saying
well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's be real now. I mean, come on.
Brad for sure.
I don't want you to answer the question so much, Matt, because you in it. You know what I mean? So when you in it, sometimes you don't see what's going on, or you don't want to really, you in it. So you in it. Just put it that way.
I got you, D.
Outside, with Redub, Matlocks, with the female we just seen, would she work nowadays as a solo artist? Let's be real.
For me, I think that, and Lindsay said it in the chat too. Like, you look at artists like Rhapsody, you look at No Name, you look at Tierra Whack, you look at some of those artists. And I mean, if you're playing the major industry, if you're wanting your music to be on a major label, the sex sells thing is gonna happen. They want you to look away. They want you to look sexy. They want you to look a certain way and act a certain way. If you're gonna play, if you are a woman MC, a female MC, and you want to play in the major label space, you're definitely going to have to sexify yourself, which is, it's sad to say, but that's true. Right. But they're going to miscongeniality you. That's going to be in your budget. But like I said, in this day and age, you don't need to do that. If there's talented female artists out there.
Said if you want to be on this level, you pretty much got to do that. Now you saying you don't need to?
Listen, most artists right now, they care about the artistry over anything else. So you look at Rap has solid discography. She with Ninth Wonder. A lot of people know who she is. She can go out on tour. She's done covers. She can sex it up if she wanted to. She don't have to, but she has bars, and she's made a lane for herself, and she doesn't want to play the major label space. But she could kill everybody that is on in the major label space. Rap could.
That's one of a few, Matlocks. How many women can you really, name that's like that? To be honest, you know what I mean. Redub, go ahead. Let me hear you before I get out. Let me hear Redub's comment on this.
in regards to just the whole sexify and sex sells.
Yeah, I mean, if she would never make it to the Grammys, having all the best music in the world with that look. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, for the masses, just no, like in general. But because of the talent, you know, maybe she could be on the back end. Let's even a comparison to Missy, how, you know, she may not be all in the forefront, but I'm sure she's somewhere in the executive producing or writing this, or maybe, you know, giving some game here and there. So technically, I would still say she's in the game, but she doesn't so front.
Who wants to be playing the background writing music for some other thing? You know what I mean? Some chick that can't rap, that's hot, but now you making this person. Now you probably make your money writing and doing all that. But
yeah, the thing about it, you're gonna get that mail money or the mailbox money. So you're still gonna get that check, and you're still gonna have some recognition in the game because the people who are really working in the background, like Matt does, right, or did, or still involved with, you know, people know each other, and it's who you know, not really what you know in that sense. So it's still gonna come.
Mac, let me ask you this, Mac. Does she have a personality to play the background and kind of just, if you know,
sis, so hey, sis,
like,
so
would she fight
chill.
for another female don't have half her talent, but basically blow up this female?
She can
with
do
her music and everything.
Sis got a credit. She get credit for writing for. She write for, you know, some people, but I'm not gonna mention names, but sis got credit for writing for some dudes who some hitters. You know what I'm saying? In the Bay Area, some Bay Area hitters that had to tap in and say, "Hey, sis, how this sounding, and what you think about this, and you need to and go this direction." So, like, for her, like I said, if she was a new artist, she would figure out a way. You wouldn't have no choice but to like her. Trust me. That's how strong her willpower is. You wouldn't have no choice. If sis wanted to make a song and drop a song every day, she literally could. Like, that's how much she's into this music, and how much she's like I said, it's so much that I want to say that I can't say. I just have to display over the next couple of months and let you guys see. But Marvelous, if you go check the credits, like I said, from big name artists to little name artists, everybody know who Marvelous is. Like, that, it's no way around it. Like, you can ask around. I mean, it's crazy because, like I said, she don't get the recognition that she deserves. But for a long time, she held it down for Sacramento, and as a female on her own. You know what I mean? Even though she had her big brother Bo, and Killer Tay and the West Coast Mafia, but she stood on her own. It wasn't like she, as far as artist, it wasn't like she needed help or anything. She came in this gang fire. And as well as her daughter, Lil Marvelous, like, she on a tear right now, and so it's a lot going on behind the scenes, but it just get pushed to the back because we're not on the big billboards or paying all the money to play, you know, because me, when I grew up in this game, it wasn't to pay to play. It was to music was communication. It really was used for us to establish what's going on. We telling the brothers on the East Coast and down south how we get down and using our lingo, and they did the same thing. That's what the airwaves was really for. You know what I'm saying? So for communication, it was all, you know, on the slide. The hibby, the hobba, you know, that means get up. You know, like, if you don't know the codes and you know what they saying, then that's on you. But the people that do know what they're saying in these songs, it meant a lot, and it helped structure what hip hop is. And I don't know where hip hop turned off or wherever it took a left, but it's okay because hip hop is gonna always be hip hop, and it's never gonna die. So
here's my hot take, D. Here's my hot take. I would bet that if we got Cardi, if we got Nicki behind closed doors and asked them if they could get rid of their major label shit right now and just go back to being independent and making their music, I 100% with conviction, they would both say, fuck yes. Ditch their deals and go back to just being independent and doing it on their own. The pressure, like, dudes don't get the pressure. Dudes don't get as much pressure in the major label space as much as the women. Like you have to come out with some shit. You have to come out with a hot record. Like they give you no lead room. You think that's why Cardi hasn't been out in a while? Why? Because she can't flop. She can't come out with a subpar record. She would get killed. And that would eventually lead her to getting dropped. Same with Nicki. You want to know why Nicki's been quiet for a while? You gotta get the hits. The demand on the woman MC in the major label space is unfair. That's why you don't see a ton of them either.
Yeah, it's always been like that. It's like the WNBA. They don't get all the best equipment, but they get a chance to shine. But that's always been like that as far, because we always, like I said, we always stereotyped it as being a guy, as being a guy's, like his field or whatever. Right. It's always been that you had to be rough, tough. That's what I said. So in the time when Marvelous did come out, it wasn't too many females that can even step on a platform with these guys that she was with. So it's just different.
Yeah. So even saying all this, doesn't this have to bug her? And I would love to have her on the show one day. You mentioned Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Sister, eat them up.
As far as rapping, she kills, like, game over. Rapping, just straight up. Whoever I want to listen to, I'm going to listen to her. But Cardi B, famous. Nicki Minaj, fame, making money off their music, big money, whatever, just off everything. So I would love to hear her take on if she had to make some changes or whatever. She probably wouldn't, because she's in it like Mac. I'm sure she's like, nah, I'm keeping it real. I'm not doing no fake shit.
For sure.
But maybe if she had to do it all over again and had the option to, somebody put some money behind her, you got to sexy it up and all that. With that look and that rap, it's like Jesus. You know what I mean? Because now you satisfying everybody. You know what I mean? Because niggas even, come see your shit because of your rap.
For sure.
Like, to show you something, my boy, he live in the Bay right now. We've been friends for 50 years. He just texted me this. He's watching this. He just texted, nigga, Marvelous is my favorite female.
See what I'm saying?
Now, I understand. I didn't know Marvelous until I'm from SAC, but I don't really listen,
Right.
I didn't know. If he's saying that, I'm like, damn. Like, really, he don't like a lot of shit. So he's saying that she the shit. So I'm like, she got to be feeling some sort of way. Like, why are these motherfuckers? You see what I'm saying?
But here's the rub, though. The rub
but
is
I don't know her. Go ahead.
She can create her own. Which she probably has her. She can create her own lane or her own world. She's got fans. You look at somebody like Snow the Product. Snow has been through the mud and through the dirt. From being independent into being a record label, wanted her to sexify and bar down and dumb down her bars to her leaving that label situation and doing it independently again. Like that's the crux of where we're at now, is that the major label space is not. It used to be like, God, I got to get on a major. Now it's like, nah, I don't need a major. Like I'll need a major when I need a major. And right now, if you do it right, you'll get what is the golden deal, which is distribution. Keep all of your shit, own all of your shit, and have them distributed. Yeah. So that's the rub now. If you're good enough, you can still get in the major label space, but do it in your own way.
All right, we're gonna break this up. I'm gonna play another clip of Max, and I'm gonna get out of here, Redub. I didn't hijack this shit, so you can just go off, Redub. But I'm gonna leave after this because I'm telling
all of the videos.
West Coast offense. Big Twan Mac Ray. In here with the Queen Domania. Produced by Carter Boy. Yeah. This shit won't kill you.
That shit slap, Carter.
Yeah. A nigga might feel you. I might feel you. I ain't working with feelings, baby. This shit won't kill you. This shit ain't gonna kill you. But it might just drive you crazy. A nigga might feel you. I ain't working with feelings, baby. This shit won't kill you. This shit ain't gonna kill you.
just drive you crazy.
Met her at the flea market, looking real awesome. Yeah, she got me gawking, got a nigga hawking. Love the way she walking. Pulled her to the side, then we get to talking. I'm like, where you from? She say I'm from the East Coast. I'm like, here we go. Lost like she tryna find Nemo. That's how the scene go, but I'm ganged up. Hit her with the lingo, she know that I'm game tough. Never get salty like Pringles, I'm flamed up. On some hot shit, West Coast block shit. One, she the topic, I got hella options. Hope she not on the rebound like Rodman, and I'm the odd man.
A nigga might feel you, I might feel you. I ain't working with feelings, baby. This shit won't kill you, this shit ain't gonna kill you, but it might just drive you crazy. A nigga might feel you, I ain't working with feelings, baby. This shit won't kill you, this shit ain't gonna kill you, but it might just drive you crazy.
From top to the bottom and your boy is laced. Dark blue denim in my crease is straight. Fresh ball head, no dress to shake. Clean tank top to expose the shape. Hot like it's summertime. 4G idols when I'm sliding by. Left elbow out my window. The CL5, we keep the tempo. Hop inside, girls, let's ride. Do what you want in your imaginary mind. Them jeans telling me it's a hot girl summer, and the way I'ma beat it, I'm fucking with your brother.
A nigga might feel you, I might feel you. I ain't working with feelings, baby. This shit won't kill you, this shit ain't gonna kill you, but it might just drive you crazy. A nigga might feel you, I ain't working with feelings, baby. This shit won't kill you, this shit ain't gonna kill you, but it might just drive you crazy.
Let me get in your business, I'm getting more than your digits.
Oh man,
That's a
that's
good record.
San Quinn right there too.
San Quinn, yeah.
I have to go to your YouTube page to see the rest of
That's
that.
right. That's right. That's right.
Little teaser.
I haven't talked to San Quinn in forever.
And
Man.
see, that's another thing. Like I said, I've been blessed to be in position that I've been, because these artists are friends. Like I can call these artists on the phone, just like, you know, hey man, let's just do the business. No, these are real friends and people that I've been around in the industry for a long time that I consider friend. Like I said, San Quinn, he's right now he got a lot of projects with his kids, man, and that's a big thing when you can have your boys, you know, fall in love and the same hunger and drive that you had. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I shout out to San Quinn, man. You know, he's been holding it down for for a long time, for many moons, man. So, you know, as well as we got the up and coming Frisco rapper. There's a couple of them out there, but it's two of them that I listen to: Stunner Man, you know, Big Stepper, and Larry June. Larry June is one of the I've been listening to him. But it's a couple, like I said, it's a couple of like old school RBL,
RBL.
You know, them
under him, Black Sea
for sure, and then you got Young Lot, Flood over there, you know. So it's a lot of things going on in the Bay Area, and it's just like I said, I'm always in tune to do music with whoever. If somebody want me on something, I'm willing to. Let's do something, you know what I'm saying? We come together on something. Hey, we can trade it off. You either want me to pay you for a verse? Well, I need you to pay me for a verse. You gonna do the beat? We go 50-50. You know, it's always ways to work and do things in this industry. If you serious about being in this industry, if you coming in here just to be a one-hit wonder and get a quick lick, then cool, do that. Just understand that once you do that quick lick, and your fan base and everything else kind of deter away from you, because you have to be consistent, and you got to just be you in this industry. People feel that they feel the real you. If it ain't you, then they get away from it. A lot of people in hip hop, you can't be on no fake shit. You just got to be you. If whatever it is, if you the best hamburger flipper, be the best Ronald McDonald hamburger flipper in the world. Just be you in anything that you do when you around us. That's all we ask. That's it.
And the Bay is dope, man. Honestly, like whenever I go to the Bay or anywhere near that area, I'll be hearing some new music from my family or my cousins, and the Bay just has a different vibes.
Right.
Yeah.
The Bay has definitely cultivated their own sound, their own lingo, their own talk, and like it's spread over the world. But like, you know, that is one city, just like Atlanta, like the Bay, like, you know, where you have roots that go generations deep in rap.
Right.
Facts.
And they do it, you know, their way. You know, people are still out in the trunk rattling and selling and hand to hand in it sometimes out there still.
Right.
And that's always been that way, and that's okay too. But like, you know, at the end of the day, it's an outlet. It's an outlet for everybody to get their energy out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being out in the streets like that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For sure, definitely not. I definitely agree with all that, and how like even the differences of, let's say, the styles of music in the Bay, from like we're saying Snow the Product to, let's say, you know, RBL Posse, you know,
right?
Man, there's so many. There's so many.
Don't give me no Bama weed. Hey,
yeah, you know,
yeah. All that, you know. Like, I was just playing them the other day. It's a song on Eye for an Eye album, and I was just listening to that. Just how music itself changed, sounds, and then after, you know, like I said, first it went from fight the power to fuck the police to, you know, how the whole thing changed now until, and like no disrespect to anybody, but you know, and then after that, it seemed like in my teens, you had to be hard. It was the NWA and all that and everything. Now it's more so you have to be in touch with your feelings now and everything else. And you have, and like, so it's kind of hard with where music is. But like I said, I appreciate all artists, whatever you bring to the table. If you're bringing something to the table that it can benefit us as a whole, as a hip hop community, do it. If you bringing nonsense to the table, keep it at that other table, or put it at keep it over there, because right now music is at a stage of where it's healing people. I have a 6-year-old autistic daughter, and through music, it calms her down. It actually helped her learn how to spell. She actually gets on YouTube and she actually learned. 6 years old. I can't even speak Spanish or Cantonese, but through music and YouTube, she understands and could tell me words, and it's a trip, and it's crazy to me that music, like I said, is my therapy, because I use it to when I'm having a stressful week or some things that I need to say that I didn't get a chance to say at that time. I can go in the studio and unleash all that and put it out there and be a better person for myself, so I could be a better person for my friends and family. So, you know, that's about it. But I do understand that music, the frequencies and everything too, it kind of changes people's spirits and emotions. So
I agree. Yeah, I drum too, so I need distress. Just I have my pad and stick with me all the time. You know, do my regular working job or something like that. Little things tick me off. I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna play some on the pad real quick, you know, and just relax, or just bump my favorite song. And yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. That's awesome too, how your daughter can relate to things that really, you know, it connects her to that next level.
Right.
Out and just that's amazing, man. Honestly.
Yeah, that's one thing that we need to get. I mean, because you know, like I said, dealing with that, and autism has been. It used to be back then. It was like 1 out of every 10 household where someone was autistic. Now it's like 1 out of 6 households. So due to a lot of things that's went on as far as food, vaccinations, and how we're living now in this age, so it kind of raised it a little bit. But I just want people to be a little bit more aware of that, so check into that, you know what I'm saying. And we gotta you know, because we deal with a lot of things as an overall, we don't push that to, we need to bring awareness to autism too. So as far as things like that, because like I said, we have the no offense to nobody, you know, we always have these rallies and all these peace movements and the alphabets, the alphabet laws and all these things. And so we have to really just bring awareness to a lot of things that's going on in the community and overall around the world. So that's what I see, and that's what I'm trying to do. My plan is in the next couple of years I'm trying to get funded, because I would like to teach music to children who has autism, and you know, and help them, you know, play instruments, learn some. Like I said, my daughter, she want to be a DJ. She always tell me she my DJ, so I let her sometimes just turn on a playlist for me, and I got a whole playlist of instrumentals that I pick out, and I let her pick what song she, you know, and it helps her mood a lot, you know. It helps. It helped. I didn't understand it at first because I was unaware of it, of how autism works. You know, if I didn't have a chance to, growing up, we didn't have a chance. If you had some type of autism or ADD or any of those problems, your grandmama or your granddaddy beat it out you. You didn't have no time. They didn't understand no disorder or nothing like that. You got it whooped out you, and you learned how to control it until you spazzed out, you know. So now a lot of things are it's more understandable how you can maneuver around to help and get over these things, but at the same time it's more of it than it used to be back then. So just trying to be, you know, aware of that and bring awareness to it for other people who's probably going through the same situation as I am.
Not for sure. No, that's amazing. And also I read that you were also involved with like the city council or helping out certain things within the city.
Correct. I used to sponsor city council, a couple of people on seats and stuff. I used to send in donations at the time when I was able to, and it was a different, you know, like I said, different situation in my life. That was before I done had a couple of more kids, you know, but right. Now, you know, but yeah, I did support Oakland City Council for a lot of years, you know, as far as sponsorship.
Yeah, that's amazing. You're full-fledged in the community, for the community, you know, growing up in the community, and also relaying your story through your music. And that's something that people can really recognize. And like you were saying earlier, you know, the real recognize real. And we can definitely feel that from you, Mac REEM, for sure, though. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me. I want to just give a couple of shouts out to my boy. He down in Shreveport, Derek Brooks, D Brooks, I see you. My boy in Berkeley, Lil Larry, Trunk Killers, the whole starting five, Big Twan from the West Coast offense again, North Philly, South Philly, everybody. I just want to just give my shouts out. Thank y'all for tuning in, and thank you guys for having me. I really enjoyed myself. Matt, man, you gave me some info. You gave a lot of information that's gonna really help some young artists and new artists who trying to get in the game. Hopefully these people who's watching, if you guys need some questions, please tap in with him. D Ware, I appreciate you, brother, for having me on here. You and Redub, like I said, man, thank you for this platform. I appreciate it. I like that little blue jersey right there that say 89. That's probably the only one I like in your backdrop. But like I said, I like, you know, the Lakers. We gonna rock it out. We're gonna rock it out.
Right.
That cowboy jersey right there. That cowboy jersey right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna do some things.
Yeah. I got one thing before y'all sign off. Mac, you ain't gonna answer this on this one. You're gonna answer this on the next one, but I'm gonna ask a question right now. Have you ever sold dope? Now we're gonna put the ... leave it at that. ... And I'm gonna ask you that when we have you back again. So
all right.
I'm gonna bring out some real shit. Go ahead, Redub. Close it out.
When you mean dope, you mean
lyrical. Leave it at that right now. Lyrical stuff. You know, come on now. I want to
you feel me? Distributing opportunity to people everywhere. That's the dope.
There you go. There you go.
I like that. I distribute opportunity to people everywhere. I got dope.
That's dope. Hey, dope.
You feel me? Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Everyone coming today. Chat, host D Ware, Mac REEM, Matt. Really appreciate you as well. I just want to see if you guys want to shout out your socials. I could put it down here in whatever your page or your website, and I could type it in the chat as well, so everyone get to connect with you guys.
It's easy for me. Matlocks, MATTLOCKS. Everything.
It's on the screen now too.
Yeah, it's on the screen too. So Matlocks.
Yep.
And for me, it's just Mac REEM Music, MACREEM MUSIC. That's everywhere. So I'm not hard to find. You'll find me anywhere. Might find me in your living room. I don't know. But check me out, y'all. Like I said, I appreciate it again. D Ware, Redub, Matt, man, it was very informal, and Thank you. I appreciate it. On the Verge, man.
On the
Be
Verge.
on the Verge for the next talented artist coming through.
Exactly.
Appreciate it.
Definitely get you back.
Hey, Mac, my boy went to school with a Marvelous Burbank High.
Oh, huh?
Yeah.
What's his name? I think
Adrian
sis on
Tyler.
here now. I think she's in here now. I think she's watching now.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
What's up?
Yeah.
I think she's in
Small
here
world,
now.
That's dope.
We'll link up for sure on some other stuff. So we good.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it.
Much love, peeps.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. See y'all
Late.
in this.